We are live!
Did you see our boy?
That's our guy.
Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show, sponsored by the Beacon Tap, Signature Transportation Group, and Dad and Mom Water.
That's good. We're gaining sponsors.
Yes, we are.
More people believe in what we're doing is what I like to say, Jim.
I love it. I love the fact that more people are believing in us, Cousin Donnie.
In the brand.
And that is all that matters, right?
That's right.
Because we are going to make softball great again.
That's right. That's right. Everybody, thank you for joining us for the Uncle Jimmy, Cousin Donnie show. It's a wonderful Tuesday, 9 o'clock. There's some softball going on right now at Bulger Park with Meatball City playing Hex right now. Flash is playing March on the other diamond. There's some games that have happened yesterday with some upsets yesterday at Forest Park that I want to get into, a big one that I want to talk to you about. But, Jimmy, how are you doing?
Well, I had a rough week last week, as you know.
You did. You did. Tell everybody where you were.
Yeah, I probably made the mistake by going out and playing in the Dome game last Wednesday because I started getting sick Monday night into Tuesday. Went out there Wednesday. Probably should have stayed home, and was literally on my deathbed Thursday, and stopped at the emergency room, and then Friday. Was just slept all day, couldn't move, couldn't do anything, and then finally started feeling better on Saturday. So it was a week-long sickness.
Yeah. But better now.
Pretty brutal. Yeah. Couldn't breathe. Yeah, definitely. More handsome. Got a haircut today. Happy haircut to Uncle Jimmy.
Definitely more handsome after your recovery.
Yeah. Recovery.
Good for you.
Some people call it, you work out in the off season. I just get sick to, drop the weight, and now I'm ready for the season. That's how it works.
Yeah, you just get a disease.
Right, you get a disease. Right.
So we had softball open up last night at the major level in Forest Park. We saw teams like BTA and Whale and Dirty 38, Pharaohs, Impact was out there, Flash was out there. But the game of the night was your boy,
the villain,
and the Fat Kids took down High Y. So the villain used to play for the Fat Kids, said he didn't want to play major ball anymore, left the Fat Kids to go to High Y, and High Y put up 14 runs against the Fat Kids 23 in a routing at Forest Park where the Fat Kids were victorious over High Y, which is an upset, and High Y beat up on Impact the game before.
Wow.
So some drama at Forest Park in night number one.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine what's going through the villain's head. He goes to High Y, and then his old team beats him. So maybe we'll get some insight from the villain tonight if he hops on during the stream to find out what's going on. How about us getting some press with the 12-inch world?
With Trey Way.
Yeah. So, they were out there obviously supporting us this weekend. Every time we hopped on the feed, he was talking about our show. Talking about 16-inch softball. That's what it's about. It's about talking about our game. So that was really cool to see. A lot of comments about that. So that was really awesome. I also had a release for the Dana Strong tournament. We picked the individual. She is a lifelong resident of Canaryville. She is an occupational therapist. She began her cancer journey in early 2023, at the age of 28, she was discovered a small limp, and then it grew rapidly. Through the initials, she told Likely that it was lymphoma. She trusted her instincts and pursued further testing. In July, she was diagnosed with stage 4, myxoid liposarcoma. So it's a rare cancer in the fat tissue. So this individual has been battling, as we all know, since July of 2023. She is going to be the individual that the family of Dana Strong. This year is the 7th annual Dana Strong softball tournament. It's going to be August 23rd at Wentworth Park. I'm going to be going ahead and submitting the the permits and all the good stuff that I got to do behind the scenes. But it's going to be $250 plus a ball, just like it always is. Yep. We're not changing that. It's going to be single elimination format. Not sure how I'm going to do it this year. I might change up how we've done it in years past, where we've had an A and a B. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm hoping to get 16 plus teams. I believe last year we had 18. So It was a nice turnout for softball and for the family. Last year we did it for Lococo's family.
Yep.
The grand total and kind of what we raised, we sell raffle tickets. So last year was the first year we did that. We're selling right now 800 raffle tickets at $25 a ticket. So that'll include a $5,000 first prize, a $3,000 second prize, $1,000 basically for third, and then we're going to pay $500 for fourth and fifth. So pretty cool little fundraiser that we're looking to do. Obviously, it's a charity type fundraiser for tickets being sold for the family. All proceeds go directly to her, Gianna. So I hope to. I don't want to butcher her last name, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Capona. Close enough.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Sounds good. You can bet that funk. Caparona.
Yeah. So
if they end up watching, they'll have to give you a spell check on that or a pronunciation check on that. I know the word of this show spreads pretty large, so I would like to see them join it and maybe watch it. But you can count on Punkies being there again, because that was a blast last year when we played in that and ended up winning that tournament. It was really cool. So I appreciate you doing that. Thanks for letting everybody know. I've got another tournament that I want to talk about. We've got the 6th annual Amber Woodworth Memorial Softball Tournament in Crestwood. That's going to be on Saturday, May 3rd, 8 a.m. start in Walker Park. Celebrate the life of Amber Woodworth and help her boys. Bring your family and friends to the 6th annual co-ed tournament. New this year, however, Jim, 14-inch mush ball. 2-game guarantee with a consolation bracket. Used to be 16, and they switched over to 14-inch for this year.
Really?
Live music, cash prizes, the top winner in each bracket, raffles, split the pot, piñatas, kids' activities, food trucks. I mean, what a really cool day to be out there playing in support of the Woodworths. I'll be out there with my guy, Johnny Denton. Downtown Sticks is our team name. I'm really excited to be out there with them. And
we are usually with Jake. So,
okay. So you're going to be out there.
I usually bring the little Moretti boys with me. We have a blast. The kids love all the activities and all the stuff that goes on. So It's a really family fun day. Usually it's just me and my boys. So we usually have a blast.
Good. So. Awesome. Our guest for tonight is a good friend of mine. I've called him when I needed a sub. When he lives 2 minutes away, he was there at game time. He plays for Moneyline now. Coming from history in the game with Players Inc., and I'm sure he'll talk about it. But Frank Jekiel on tonight. If you want to say anything about that.
Before we get to Frank Jekiel and have to hear how good looking he is and
he is
and how handsome he is. Donnie, he's not in our league, Donnie. All right, don't even start. Okay? So, not in our league, and I'm going to tell him that when he comes on. All right.
Fair enough.
But really quick, we want to say hello to Kelly, Matt Menizzi, Ron Krabicki.
Oh, hold on a second.
Michael.
Matt Menizzi watching?
Matt Menizzi is watching.
Matt Menizzi's 34th birthday today.
Oh,
happy birthday to my guy, Matt Menizzi.
John Burke, our boy Rob Grisano,
He was pissed at you.
Mr. Captain himself.
He was pissed at you.
Yeah, he wanted to come on our show because he thinks he got 3 wins in a dome playoff league, a meaningless dome league that we're going to talk to Frank about.
That's not meaningless.
And no, it's a great league, but it's just, come on, it's a dome league, and Robbie acts like it's the World Series of 16 in softball. So,
okay.
He hit a home run 214 feet.
He did.
Yeah,
he did hit a homer off me. I pitched it.
Yeah. So what was it? 212 then?
It was probably about 215.
215.
But he hit a homer. He hit the game. Ended up being the game-winning home run. That's Robbie Grisano, my guy.
All right. So so since we're on the dome, right? Let's talk about Frank. I've got a lot of questions I want to ask him about the dome. I don't know if he's ready for Uncle Jimmy tonight because I think I got a little fire in my ass, cousin Donnie.
Why? What's getting you fired up today, Jim? What's going on?
I just feel like it's a good day to be fired up.
Okay. All right. So nothing in specifically. Is it because Hex is losing right now? Your buddies are losing?
Yeah, probably my buddies are losing. I'm a little aggravated, a little mad. So you know what? I'm getting ready for the umpires, the stress level umpires that are coming up for the upcoming 2025 season. So
you don't have to argue. Izzy'll do it for you.
No, Izzy's never seen arguments like this. So, but let me get Frank on. Let's bring him in. Our boy Frank. There he is. Look at the hair, Donnie. I mean, just look at the
good. He's a handsome guy.
The baldness and the front of the forehead there, the shine, the glow.
Come on.
Look at that thing, Donnie.
Don't do that. Don't do that to our guest.
Hey, I'm lucky I have hair at 37. My dad's as bald as an 8-ball. So,
boy. So Frank, welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show. We appreciate you coming on tonight. As we do for every single guest, we have you tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to ask you some questions, and at the end, we're going to give it the open floor to yourself for questions for both, Cousin Donnie and myself. So let's just kick it off. Why don't you tell the softball world who you are, Frank, how you got into softball, and why is it a part of your life?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on, guys. So I'm from the northwest side of the city. Myself, Spaghetti, the Sherwin brothers, Rieger, Dags, the Lentines are all from the same grade school. Chris is my age, so I was good buddies with him growing up. So I remember going to his dad's games, and his dad's team, Dogs Bite, I think they're celebrating or they have their 50th anniversary this year. If I'm not mistaken, that Dogs Bite team's in the Hall of Fame. So I remember going to see some 16-inch games when I was young, and then Sean McReady, who is kind of involved with the Barachos team now. He kind of helped Steve-O run it a little bit. He actually got me playing when I was 17. First thing I did, my friends and I, when I was graduating high school, is we got a 16-inch team in the summer. Franklin Park, there were 17 of us. We sucked, but it was awesome. So
did you go to Pat's, Frank?
I went to Holy Cross for 2 years and it closed, and then so I actually graduated from Guerin Prep, which is now closed and knocked down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where did you go to college, Frank?
Eastern Illinois University, where you could get a D average and still get in and get a degree. So I don't even know if that school's still open either.
Man, you might just go to a bunch of schools that ended up closing right after.
Yeah, you know what?
I
have that effect, I guess.
Keep going.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I came up within the Dynasty program. That's a lot of guys from my neighborhood. So I was in and out with them. When they were winning, when they were coming in second, I really didn't have much as far as I didn't have a lot of playing time with them. They had their team set. I stepped away from softball for a few years. They let me just come back in. I was a rotational guy. Come no gloves. I think I just pinched ran. So full disclosure, I had nothing to do with them finishing second, but that's the kind of program I was in and out of, for a handful of years. Then Matt Musha and I started a team at Prospect called Pepper that ran for 2 years. We were middle of the road at best. It's kind of like a neighborhood thing. We were a little bit before our time. Like Chuck was on our team. Our buddy Ray Segas, who hits bombs to all fields, doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Lenny was on our team. So we were a little bit before our time, but then COVID hit, stopped Pepper, thought I was done. Saw Ray, Chuck, and Musha finish third. They beat Signature that year at Nova,
Yeah.
I was there and I thought I was retired, and I was like, I can't stop now. It just gave me the itch again. So ended up crossing paths with DeJoya, with Pete, and he was open to bringing Players Inc. back. He basically said, I'll get some of my old guys, the veterans. You bring some young guys in. We'll kind of put it all together. We did. So spent 2 years with Players Inc. Last year, I decided, I was talking to some guys from neighborhood. We were trying to put something together. Didn't end up happening. Ended up crossing paths with Marty Dozen, the kid, through Lenny Gonzalo, their buddies, their cop buddies. Really wanted to play with Marty. So fast forward, that's how I ended up on money line. I wanted to play with Marty and with Lane Neiman. So excited to play with them this year. Yeah, two young studs in the game.
Good dudes.
Yeah.
So let's get right into this dome, and kind of why you brought it back, and just your thought process on, we obviously Sal ran the league for many years. We all know that at that point it was no more. And then what was your thought process? Is it just because obviously it's something that's in your blood, your passion, but what made you bring it back? What was your thought process? And what's your future plans with it too? Are you looking to make it bigger? What's going on with that?
Yeah, good question. So people ask me all the time why I put myself through the stress of, running our park teams and running the dome. Honestly, the dome's pretty easy to put together. It's something to do in the winter. It's just something to get out of the house and go do and kind of get you through the winter. It's only 5 minutes from my house, so that right. Helps too. Yeah, it's something that I'm big on getting out of the house. Like I can't just sit on the couch all night. So I still play in basketball leagues, still play softball as many nights as I can. Life's a little different now. I have a 15-month-old, but as soon as he goes to sleep, I'm heading out to go do something. So that was a big reason why, it helps you get some swings going into the season. Next year, I don't think we'll probably do a winter league. I think we'll just keep it to spring. Hopefully that draws more teams out. We had 8 teams in the fall/winter,
right?
8 teams again in the spring. It's not cheap to rent those fields. And if we don't rent a big batch of them at once, we don't really get a discount.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit. So, really quick before we get on there, I want to say something. We just had an individual jump on our feed by the name of Joe Fano, who just took the Nazareth Academy basketball job, left St. Mary's out in Minnesota, and is now coming back to Illinois.
Oh, that's awesome.
Joe Fano is a free agent in the 16 softball world. So just want to throw that out there. Also, welcome to Jake Reynolds, who loves to hop on our feed, and then Robbie, who loves to see his name in the thread. So Robbie hops on.
He does.
So that way he can see his name constantly. But Frank, going back to the dome, I want to talk about this just a little bit, because I personally know how expensive, right, it is to rent these fields and do these things.
Yep.
So based on what Rosemont is giving you, okay, they're giving you pretty decent times in the spring. Mm-hmm. Obviously, their baseball's over with.
Right.
So what does the negotiations look like with them? Are they working with you on that stuff, or is it just like, this is the price and this is why it's so expensive?
So they can't go below a certain threshold. There really wasn't much negotiation back and forth. It was like, hey, this is the fee per field per hour.
Right.
I asked him, like, hey, if I take more fields next year, can we knock it down? Like another $25 per field per hour? And he said, probably not. He said, we could, how many you're going to rent? Full disclosure, and I'll be honest with you, I come out about plus $80 after paying the umps, payouts, renting the fields, and I end up buying balls, an extra set of balls, just to have those on hand. So what I get out of it is I make the schedule convenient for myself. That's what I take away from it. So I'll be fully transparent. And I still screw that up this year. You could ask the money line team. We were walking field to field instead of, because it was all double headers. I didn't even do that right. I was so concerned about just getting it all scheduled that we ended up walking field to field. So I really got nothing out of it this year.
Let me add really quick, Frank. Jimmy's asking you, the financials of this because he wants to completely undercut Rosemont and get all dome games.
Probably not hard to do, honestly,
for next year. So I will say we did appreciate the game times for the second round with the 8 and 9 o'clock way more, beneficial for our guys not playing at 11 and 12 like we used to.
Yeah, and I know it's probably a lot. It's hard for us on the Northwest side to get up off the couch, especially when it's cold out in the winter, to go play a 9, 10 o'clock game. And I know a handful of guys. There's some teams that are a lot of guys are coming from the South side. So it's tough to get up and go. But yeah, we got lucky. The fields opened up at 8. I'm gonna try to book it earlier this year so we lock in those times again. But yeah, the more teams we get, the more fields we could book, and then hopefully.
I just wish those fields were bigger. You know what I mean? Those fields are so small.
I agree. Another 15 feet all around would be perfect, but unfortunately, there's nothing we could do.
Nothing you can do. I mean, that's what we're used to it though. We've played in there for the last couple of years. We know what to expect when we go play in Rosemont. So kind of chatting about all that, Frank, and I wanted to kind of go through what you were saying about the early dynasty days and talk about those teams a little bit. I saw Joey Knops today. I know he's probably a friend of yours and a dynasty legend. We talked softball today for a little while. Yep. Steve Burke said, put him in the van. And what is he talking about there when he talks about put him in the van?
That means beat that team's ass, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes back to a Norwich Fall League, Rakers Island, shout out champs. So, yeah, man, that goes back 5, 6, 7 years.
Sure. Yeah. That's cool. And then I like that you put the team together with a lot of the neighborhood guys. That's what Joey was telling me today. I mean, there's a lot of neighborhood guys. They started Dynasty. They were awful. And then just recruited and got better. And everyone on the team got a little bit better, too, in the process.
Yeah, how it started is we got in the Melrose tournament, and somehow we made the championship, and we beat How You Doing in the first game. They end up, I think, pissing on us in the second game. But that's how the inception of Dynasty started. I didn't jump on when they went from Park League team Sunday at Hiawatha. We got in that tournament, made that run, and some guys came up to us like, you guys are good. Like, you should be playing at the next level. Spaghetti and Knops, and I think Sherwin and whoever was involved in putting it together, they did. I wasn't involved with when it first started, but those are all my guys. Knops is from Norwich. I grew up with those guys. Yeah, so
a lot of past guys in that group, so I take kindly to those guys.
Yeah, good dudes,
for sure.
So going to Moneyline this year. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Matty Dozen. Play with him many years.
Nicest guy in the world. Yeah,
nicest guy in the world. Tell us a little bit about your new team, what you're most excited about.
So I'm excited to play for Matty because he's been around the game a long time. He gets it. And I think he's one of probably, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't know all the old heads in the game personally, but he gets that it's a new type of player now. It's not the 1999 to 2004 type of player, and he's adjusted.
What do you mean? The players now don't like playing 4-day tournaments and sitting out there? Is what you're trying to say, Tommy Frank?
It's the vibe I get sometimes. He understands. I'm excited to play for Matty. Like I said earlier, I'm excited to play with Marty and Lane, 2 young, really good players in the game, just good dudes. I haven't played with a lot of these guys. Never played on the same team as Grisano, never played on the same team as Brian Davis. They probably didn't even know who I was because I was never really that good to make a name for myself, quite frankly. So Davis just hits holes like it's his style, it's going out of style.
It is Grisano,
his style. Grisano grunts when he rips a ball, so that's funny. I'm excited to play with these guys. They made a couple deep runs the last couple of years. So my buddy Lenny is came with us too. So he's a closet hitter. All that kid does
is
awesome.
Hit.
He's a
awesome.
really underrated player. Excited to see what we can do this year.
Talk to me really quick about. Sorry, Jim. I mean, I just want to ask about the Players Inc. thing, ending that relationship potentially with that team, and now the direction of that team. They're not around this year. They're going to be Impact now, and I know you've got buddies on that Impact team still. We talked about the kid from the drafted to the Pirates. I mean, there's talent there as well. Talk about that kind of disconnect from the Players Inc. to now Moneyline.
Yeah. So Pete is very old school, and I can't say a bad thing about him. Like
he's great.
He pays for every single thing. Any uniforms you want, he pays for it. Wouldn't take $1 even if you wanted to. He pays for the tournaments, takes care of it all. All he asks for is that you show up and you're responsive. Pretty old school. That's the way I came up in the game. So no, I respect the hell out of it. Storino tore out his Achilles last year.
Yep.
Ray,
swinging right in the batter's box.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was wet out or not, but yeah, he came out of the batter's box and it just popped.
Yep.
Our buddy Ray Sekas, he was our 3 hitter. He had to quit. So he essentially lost our 3 and 4 hitters. We were good, not great, but we thought we had a good enough team to compete. When you lose your 3 and 4 hitter and you're not terribly deep, it's a tough year.
Yeah.
So it was just a long year to go through. Like I said, there were some talks about, putting a team together. So we got reached out to. Thought it was going to happen. It didn't. So we ended up on Moneyline because that's a team that was willing to take Lenny and myself.
Sure.
So yeah, Pete might hate me still. I don't know. It's just his style. Like if you leave him, you're just dead to him, which I kind of respect, obviously. But yeah, that's how we left. I respect and Pete, appreciate everything you did. So
yeah.
So on Moneyline, now that you get to play with the great Robbie Garzano, Mr. Captain himself from Team Jagoff.
Yep.
Just so you know, ask him how he got to see on Team Jagoff. He'll love it. Make sure you have your phone ready to track down his stats as he gets hits throughout the year. Okay, that way Robbie can focus on hitting and not have himself do it. All right.
Yeah, got it.
So he is one of a kind, and he is a good dude though. So
yeah.
But I can bust his balls, and he likes to bust mine, and that's the way we are. But he is a good dude. So
yeah,
you'll have a lot of fun with him. Maddie's a good dude. I was sad to see they lose Bino. He actually going over to Maple City.
He's not there tonight. I think he coaches baseball.
Oh, really? For baseball, I thought he was there. But you could be right. But either way, I think the squad that you guys have at Meatball, where they have you penciled in at, what's some of the positions they're going to have you playing besides pitcher?
So I'm naturally an outfielder. I just started pitching last year. So, and I told Maddie that, I'm happy to fill in pitching. I think I picked it up pretty quickly, but I still have a long way to go figuring it out. Pete got hurt last year and I essentially was just thrown into it. Like we didn't really have any other pitcher. We had Anthony Cabela, older guy, but he's kind of older, doesn't move all that well anymore. So I just kind of got thrown into it. Kind of picked it up a little bit, but my natural position's outfield. Now, as I'm older, I just want to play right. But yeah, hopefully I'll be in the outfield more than I'll be on the mound. Hopefully,
you pitched a really good game on. I want to say that was Thursday night at Melrose in Midsummer Classic.
Signature. I beat Signature.
You did. And that was the only game we lost that whole tournament.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you, I didn't beat Signature. Our center fielder did. You guys were ripping the ball all game long, like bombs. Pickless, Spencer.
Yeah.
I was hitting bombs. And our little center fielder, Joey Krasinski, was just tracking everything down.
Yeah.
Sometimes teams pull off an upset. It was just one of those games. So
yeah,
I do have that one under my belt though, and I won't forget.
You pitched that. You pitched a good game that game.
Pitched that game. Yeah, thank you.
You did. So I'm chronically online, okay, as most young people are, and one of my favorite websites is called BigBallAssociation.com.
R.I.P.
Why though? Why RIP? What? Talk to me about, because I liked the polls, I liked the interviews. He posted stuff on YouTube. Chris Rieger was on there, and then it just went from there.
I thought it was something I wanted to. I had a silent partner, and I swear on anything, it was not Pete. People think it was Pete. He had nothing to do with it. He swear, hand to God. I thought it was something that we wanted to do. Honestly, we were going to try to put together a tournament, make a couple extra pocket bucks out of it, not taking money away from teams by any means, but hopefully get some sponsors, just a little side hustle. And then there's a lot of messages you get behind the scenes and a lot of hurt feelings. And I got a 15-month-old now. Like at the time, I think my wife was pregnant. It's not for me. I'd rather let someone else tackle it and kind of give them my thoughts on it. And hopefully, maybe you guys could run with something, or whoever else wants to tackle it. But thought it was a good idea first, and then found out quickly it wasn't. So
a lot of work.
It's over. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Well, the funny part is I kind of have an idea of probably the voicemails and the messages that you were getting behind the scenes, huh?
You know, I don't want to put anyone on blast.
Jimmy
some
will.
some people were not happy they weren't in the polls, and I don't know as many guys in the game as like you guys probably do. You know, I'm not that involved with it anymore, and it wasn't intentional. You know, I was reaching out to captains like text, like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this poll. Who do you want to nominate?" Or, you know, "Who you guys picking up?" You know, I get some messages, guys screwing around, like, fine. Oh, we're picking up this guy, and it was BS.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all good, but yeah, it came with a lot more headaches than I anticipated. So,
Well, and not only that, but you know, when you try to do something to better the game of softball,
Uh-oh.
yeah, there's a certain, you know, people that want
there's a
to,
lot of opinions out there. Yeah,
yes, that
a lot
want
of
to fight you and
yeah,
want to have it their way, and you know, and
Who's that, Jim?
Huh?
Who is that?
Who's what?
Who is that that's fighting you about changing the game of softball?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's any one person in particular. I think it's a group of people that, and it's not even who you think it is. It's not the SSA. So I just think it's the older, you know, the older group of individuals that now, you know, feel that that's how they came up and that's how softball should be, and it's just not that way, as you know, Frank. I mean, I think you said it early tonight. I think the best thing that I heard you say is like Maddie understands the new player in 16 in softball. So,
and
you know,
and I don't mean to cut you off.
Maddie's on the board of the SSA. So
Yeah, and to our team's defense, like I don't really think we have anyone that's a problem. We don't. I know that for a fact. Like our team, top to bottom, is pretty old school. Like everyone responds quickly, everyone shows up. You know, but he still gets it. So yeah,
Is Mandarino on that roster?
he is.
There's your problem right there.
Yeah, he keeps the chat alive. I'll say that.
I love him. I love Eric, man.
Every team needs a character. Yeah, every team.
Correct.
Well,
You're right. You're right.
You know, the funny part, I think that when you say what we say, that the players nowadays are different, people right away think it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, and that's where I think people get kind of understood a little bit about what we talk about that, right? It's not that the players today don't want to play. I just don't think that they have other things in life. You know, social media and just the world itself, I feel, is in a whole different place than it was 20 years ago. You know, and even 30 years ago. So, you know, now I can tell you exactly what Donnie's doing every single day of the week, where 30 years ago I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more on people's plates nowadays than what it was, you know, 30 years ago, which then creates more things to do.
Yep.
Which in general puts softball, unfortunately, not at the top of that list sometimes. You know, I've even caught myself missing games or whatever because there's other things to do, where 20 years ago there's no way I'd miss a game, you know. Yeah. So and I make probably 97% of them, you know what I mean? But it's just, I feel nowadays it's just completely different, and we haven't adapted to that yet as an organization, as a softball just whole family, call it whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, we could piss and moan about till the cows come home about how much is different, but nothing's going to change. It just is what it is now. Right. Like anything else, if you don't adapt, it's just going to dwindle away.
And that's what it's doing.
Yeah, you're right. Like we as a whole haven't adapted to it yet. I think once we do, it'll make the game strong again. You'll probably see a lot more teams come out, a lot more teams willing to compete at maybe the higher level, like a level above where they should be, move up, getting more teams getting tournaments. But yeah, asking Thursday through Sunday, in my opinion, is tough now. I'm not saying if it's right or wrong. You know, we all grew up playing Thursday through Sunday. But like you said, social media now, people got other obligations, a lot more to do in this world now than there was 20 years ago. It's just for a lot of players, and it just is what it is. Nothing we can do about it.
And I think, you know, if you go back, I don't know, 30 shows ago and you listen to what Chris Guerin said, and I always bring this up, because I think it's a very good point to what he says. If I missed the North-South tournament, no big deal. I could show up to the Melrose tournament. It's the same format. You understand my point?
So
it's the same fucking tournament all the time.
Every tournament's the same. And that's one thing I would like to see changed is make one tournament different than the others. Just pick one. It doesn't matter what it is. North, South, Melrose, TOC. Every tournament's a 2-diamond tournament, Thursday through late Sunday. By the time the championship comes, there's 2 fans in the stands. Not that if you end one tournament on a Saturday night, you'd get more juice going at turn. Pick one, anyone. It doesn't matter. Make one tournament different than the others and see what happens.
You guys be great. You guys are going to be great friends by the end of this.
That's my 2 cents on seeing where we can go with it. I think ending on a Saturday night majors. There's tournaments. Papa House one night ends Friday night. Your Dana Strong is one day and Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Have it on a Saturday evening, probably Saturday night, and just see what's there, see what comes of it, and then maybe you adjust the other tournaments from there. But that's what I want to see.
Yeah, so. I agree with you. I want to see the same thing. I've been asking now for 3 years. We'll see.
Yeah.
No, it ain't gonna happen this year, but you never know. Maybe Danny will pull it off for North South in Berwyn. You never know.
Yeah. You need a complex with 4+ fields at least, or just mix in multiple parks. I don't think teams will care. I wouldn't. I don't think anyone would care if you mix in 2-3 parks similar to like a Papa Hop style. And it all flows back to one main complex, in the same whatever. Figure out a way to make it happen. And
that is the cool thing that Papa Hops does with everybody knows where the final game is going to be.
Yeah.
So they get there early, park the chairs. They don't care about the games that happened before on the other fields. It's all about what's happening right there in front of them, which is really cool.
Yeah. I don't recall any major tournament ever ending on a Saturday night. Jimmy, you've been around the game longer than I have. Do you?
No, I mean, there used to be not the 5 big major ones have never ended on a Saturday night since I've been around. The ones that used to end on Saturdays were the qualifiers in Mount Prospect. That was a 1-day single elimination type thing.
Yeah.
Now Forest Park, I want to say 30 years ago was single elimination. The tournament.
Really? I didn't know that.
So, yeah, they were single elimination, and then they had changed it. I don't know the exact year that they changed it, but back in the day, that tournament was single elimination. So
we all know that's the one tournament that could get away with going Thursday through late Sunday. Yep. The streaming kind of keeps some fans away on Sunday, but they still get a decent showing. Sure. It wasn't what it was 10, 15 plus years ago.
No. They're dwindling for sure on Sunday.
I think the tradition of moving the chairs around the outfield is pretty, awesome. That'll always be a thing. And if I'm not playing in it, I want to move the chairs and sit in the outfield there. And that's a cool spot to be.
Yeah. I mean, I know JD kicked around the idea last year, ending that bitch on Saturday night. And when I heard it, I was like, yes, right? But then I heard the format that they were trying to do, and I was like, it doesn't really work that well. But
if you get no glove on Saturday night, that would be insane.
Yeah.
I think
here's the thing.
I see the biggest crowd you've had in a long time.
You just need to really start on Wednesday. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
Start on Wednesday night. Right? I mean, think about it. What's the difference? I mean, from Thursday to Wednesday, we all play on Wednesday anyways.
Yeah, you're probably in the Forest Park League anyways. And I'm pretty sure they don't cancel the games Wednesday, do they? I don't remember.
They do cancel the game.
They
have to play on Tuesday.
Yeah, play.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, run it, start it a night or two early, knock out a few games. I don't know.
It'd be awesome. Tuesday through Saturday at Forest Park. I mean,
it'd be pretty sweet.
It'd be pretty sick. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But Donnie, go to your next question, my man.
Yeah. You talk about a lot of teams that you played for, Frank, and a lot of players that you played with. Who's somebody that you never got a chance to play with that you may have wanted to, or maybe still want to today?
It was Marty. He was a big reason why I ended up on Moneyline. I'm going to be playing with him this year. He's a cop, and his schedule is kind of dicey, so I don't know how much he'll be out there this year. But him and Lane Neiman. I got to know them over the last year. So I'm excited to play with them. Those are probably the two that jump out to me at first. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good players out there. Never play. Oh, I take that back. I have played with them. Yeah, I've always played with my neighborhood guys, and this is kind of how it's always been.
Yeah.
I'll stick to Marty and Lane. Yeah,
it's a good answer. Two young kids now that you're getting exposed to a little bit more. Marty's awesome. Lane's a really close friend of mine. And I like Lane Senior. It's one of my favorite guys in the game. I mean,
awesome guy. Shout out Lane Senior. Great dude.
He's the best. I love him. I talked to him the entire game last week when we played.
Yeah.
He yells about everything, and it's great.
Wait, you talked to the other team when you were playing?
Just third base coach because he's standing right there.
Oh.
Once
I was gonna say Sal will take you out for doing that.
Correct. I try not to do that. But thanks for answering that. It's kind of a tough question to kind of go down memory lane there for a minute.
Yeah.
You're probably still thinking about it as you've already answered the question. I'm sure there's another guy that's older, but Jimmy, why don't you go ahead with your next one?
So, what are some things in 16-inch softball right now that kind of bother you about the game?
I mean, in a perfect world, you would have a little bit better commitment. It would make games mean a little bit more. If a top team gets knocked off, there's always context to it. Who was missing, who was there. If everyone's showing up a little bit more, it means a little bit more. We could go back and forth whether league play matters or not. It matters in the sense that you got to be able to learn how to win and beat good teams and get your swings in and play that top competition. As far as what your record ends up being at the end of the year, if you're in the Forest Park League, unless you go over, you're going to make the tournament. I don't know. Try to find a way to make league games probably mean a little bit more somehow. I don't have the answer of how to do that. But that would probably add a little bit of juice to the game, in my opinion.
So commitment is something that it's been a common answer on our show.
That's
and there's really nothing we could do. Yeah, there's nothing you could do about it. Not everyone has that relationship with the old lady to say, hey, this is what I do. I'm going to play tonight. Like, it's true. Let's just call it a spade. And that's fine. Like, it is what it is. I'm old school. Like, I set that precedent early. I tell all my friends, set the precedent early. If you're going to play softball, this is what you do. You're going to play. It's not that big of a deal, but people miss for other reasons too. A lot of guys now, like at my age group, are all starting to have kids, multiple kids. It's not easy to leave the house when you got 2 under the age of 3. I've talked about this a few times. You don't really see a ton of new young teams, and by young I mean like under 25, starting together and coming up in the game. So when my group, like the mid 30s to early 40s, start to grow families and kind of phase out in the next 5+ years, some of us will stick around, some won't. I'm curious to see what it'll be at that point, with not a lot of young guys replacing the old guys that retire, old guys. I would like to see more young teams just taking your lumps as part of it. Don't be afraid to play a good team and take your lumps. So, I beat Signature in that tournament. For all you young teams, I led up like 50 runs between BTA and 45s in a doubleheader at Forest Park last year, too. Literally, one team put up 26 and the next team put up 24. And I'm not exaggerating. It was
such a weird game.
My ERA was like 80, So, and that's part of it. Don't be afraid to take your lumps. Your teeth kicked in. That's what makes you better. Don't run from competition. That's what Pete was big on, DeJoya. We're playing majors. Don't ask me to play anything else, period. We're playing majors. Even if we don't have, all major team top to bottom, we're playing it. It just is what it is. Yeah. I like that in him.
I love it.
If you're an A team, don't be afraid to get in the major tournaments. If you're a B team, don't be afraid to get in the A tournaments. So, long-winded answer, but I'd like to see. I like to see more young kids, come up and put some teams together and play.
Yep. No, 100%. I mean, I just don't know, like, when guys like myself and like that 40 to 45 crew right now that's in the game, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
When they kind of step away in the next 5 years, I don't know what that next crew is going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who's replacing, that 35 to 45 group with all of us who've been around the game, for the last 20 plus years.
Yeah.
When we phase out, I'm curious to see where Majors is at that time.
Donnie seems to think that I'm going to be around forever, and then he's
with your current role, Jim. I think you can just stand there and hit for years.
Yeah, that's how we do it, Donnie. That's
a really good answer. That's a good answer, Frank. I like that you said it seems like now there's more of an excuse if a top team loses with commitment, right? Like if for example, right, if we lose to a team, it's who was missing? Who did you guys not have? Right?
Yeah.
Rather than they just play great. They play great and beat us, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone makes like a team makes an excuse. I just think it's the fact of the matter. Like, if someone gets knocked off, were they missing a couple guys? That's usually the story of every game. Every team,
that's the story.
Yeah. So it would be cool just to see most teams full staff going against each other pretty consistently.
Agreed.
So some teams still have it. Some teams get their core 8-9 guys every game. But I know there's a lot of teams that struggle getting that 8 to 9. So 8 to 9.
Agreed. Yeah. Jim, what else you got?
So I just got my last question. And it's the question I ask every guest, Frank, on the show. I don't know if you've watched our show before, but I'm sure you have. It's basically if you had one thing in softball right now that you'd want to change, about the game to make the game better, or something that's new that you can bring it into softball to make it better, what would it be?
I mean, we just covered it. It's pick one tournament and it on a Saturday night. Just whoever's listening is in charge of running tournament. Do it. Do it and see what happens. You might strike gold. I think you probably will. Quite honestly, I think you'll get better participation. You'll get more fans and players playing, sticking around, hanging out. You'll get a better crowd. Everyone likes playing in front of a crowd, whether they want to admit it or not. There's just there's more juice around the game. That's why everyone loves playing Papa Hops in front of 3, 4, 5, 6,000 people. Like, don't tell me that's not awesome.
Great.
And like we said, we can't recall any majors tournament on a Saturday night. So someone needs to step up and make it happen.
Donnie, I really like this guy, Donnie.
I think I said it. You guys are going to be best friends by the end of this, and I think it's coming true.
Yeah. No, I mean, Frank, you're preaching to the choir, and this is stuff that we said now going on probably a couple of years. A lot of our fans are probably sick of hearing it, but I didn't train you. You came on and said it. I didn't tell you. That has to be your answer. I've heard that. Oh, you're telling people it's not the case. I never tell any of our guests what to say or what not to say. So it's an open forum 24/7. That's why I love our show. That's why Donnie and I do this, because we truly want to hear the people like yourself who are trying to make the game better. We definitely appreciate you starting up the Dome League again.
Yeah, that's great. How did you pull the Bandits field? How'd you get that?
So the kid who's in charge of the field rentals, he just offered to me, he goes, "You want to play the championship out there?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And then I had to go back there and make sure the dimensions worked. So it was 5 feet shorter to center, but 6 foot tall fence all around. So kind of made up for it.
Yep.
So Robbie earned his home run. Let's just call that. He earned it. It went over the 6 foot fence.
It did.
No,
Spencer earned that home run.
Yes, yeah, he sure did. He just offered it to me, and I just jumped on it. I said, "Yeah, absolutely." He was cool about it because he kept the field open inside the dome too, in case it rained.
Sure.
So yeah, it worked out.
It was really cool to play out there. It was great.
But it was pretty awesome. Yeah, if there's any teams out there that are interested in getting in the Rosemont Dome next year, let me know. The more teams, hopefully, we could drive the entry fee down a little bit. So,
and I will say, really quick, there's a lot of seating there. It would be cool to see more people watch that game, because there's bleachers out in the outfield, and there's stands behind the plate that you can sit behind and watch something at. I think kind of an idea, maybe like a tournament held at one field and then the championship held at that diamond for everyone to come and watch and see.
I mean, you're basically playing like in a baseball stadium. Like it's
really
technically
cool.
a women's stadium, but like it looks like a baseball stadium. So yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
How many home runs were hit in your guys' game?
Robbie, Spencer, I think maybe just 2, right? In our game?
Yeah, I think that was it. Maybe 2 or 3.
What about the game before?
Between us and Hex, about the same. Honestly, I don't really recall.
Mans, I think, hit 1, right?
I think Mans hit 1. We might have hit 2, and Hex maybe hit 1. I think I don't know. Maybe Al Rice put one out. I don't remember. I think he hit a bomb, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really recall. Not many though. Not as many as you think. And there was no wind. Like the flags were straight down, which was pretty nice. But
did the field play bigger?
It felt bigger. I will say. I thought it felt bigger.
It does feel bigger, but it's not. But it was really cool. It was a cool experience. So I'll make sure that we get that again. He said Julian. Julian
Sherlin said Frank Juice Jekiel because he might have said that because he hit a walk-off grand slam to get to the playoffs.
He's saying it because I said the word juice like 5 times. Brian's a ball.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just counting.
Yeah.
So your one change is to change a major tournament ended on Saturday night.
Make it happen.
I love it.
Make it happen.
We're trying, dude.
You guys make it happen or come together with someone. Multiple fields, one big complex. Do it. I could almost guarantee, and I think a lot of people would agree, that it will be a success.
Yes.
You'd probably get more participation if you knock out that Sunday too. So
100% agree with you there. So
love it.
This is the part of the show, Frank. We go ahead and we hand it over to you for questions for Donnie and I. Whatever's on your mind, go ahead, man, and shoot. So now's your chance.
What do you guys want to see changed? I mean, we've talked about a lot of it, but anything that we didn't cover that you want to see changed, or like what bothers you guys the most about today's game?
Donnie, go ahead.
What bothers me the most? I mean, I think I've mentioned this before, but there doesn't need to be as much animosity in the game as there is. I feel like there's a couple. How do I want to word this? Let's not get too political. Let's cut the animosity out between certain groups of individuals, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. If we worked in unison to create the best possible product for the game, that would be what I would change. Where we don't need certain affiliations to essentially try and dominate the game.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
there'd be more juice, Frank.
More juice.
Before I tell you the real answer, Joey Carbs just said Team Donnie versus Team Jimmy draft night at the stadium.
It'd be sweet.
Make it happen, Frank. Get us the field. Team Donnie versus Team Jimmy draft at the stadium. So we'll do a draft tournament. My team versus Donnie's team. We'll play for charity.
That'd be fun.
And we'll do it at the stadium. And we'll sell tickets and we'll get everything going. What do you think?
I'll make it happen, but I have to be someone's pity pick. So I got to be on one of your rosters.
You'll be on my team. As a payment for coming out and playing for me in where was that, at Norwich that night when I called you at 7:43 for a 7:45 game and you were there on time?
It was a block away from the house, so I couldn't say
it was
no.
Great. I'll always appreciate you for doing that.
Our boy Jackson Perry wants to know how many points he scored in the semifinals.
5. Scored 5 points in our basketball league in the winter.
Are you a hooper?
I'm a better basketball player than I'm a softball player. So not that says much. I'm not that good.
LeBron scored no points in the fourth quarter the other night, so don't worry about it, right?
Yeah, I'm very anti-LeBron, so I loved it. Did not have a good playoff game. Thanks, Jackson. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So my answer to your question and it actually, I'm not afraid to say names because Donnie's a pussy, but
Well, I'm trying to be
he's trying
correct.
to be politically correct.
Thank
There's
you.
no reason to be politically correct. Everyone knows who the people are that cause the stubbornness and the bullshit and the shit that goes on. To Donnie's point, I agree with his answer. That shit, it needs to stop, as we always talk about it, right? I think softball as a whole, if we work together to create opportunities to make the game better, regardless whether what page you're on or what association you're a part of, or if you're a Geo lover or you're not, or if you like Adam Comby from Forest Park or you don't,
Love
or or you like Staples or you don't. Personally, I don't really, I don't think anyone should really give a shit because I think all those guys that I just mentioned are out there donating, giving their time to make the game better. Just like Donnie and I, trying to promote and do the things that we do, whether you like Gio or not, he's doing the same shit. Staples is doing the same shit. Might
That's
be a
Dave Padilla,
different
by
level.
the way, Frank.
Huh?
What's that?
That's Dave Padilla, by the way, Frank. If you're not aware of the joke.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Staples? You don't know Staples?
No.
Staples is the most popular guy in softball.
Because of us.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
So Staples, he's the guy who runs the ASA or USA now they call it. He's like a commissioner out on the south side of Chicago, runs a lot of the smaller leagues, the park leagues and things like that. He cares. He's great. He's funny. He's has half a brain sometimes, but
I knew that was coming.
he's Staples. You know what I mean? And then you got other guys in softball that do good things, like even Maddie. Like Maddie does his tournament and does stuff like that. So there's guys that are willing to help and do things. It just needs to be more of a group. It needs to be more of a family. It can't just be what one guy wants to do all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go on limb. I put it out there. I called the SSA about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe week or two ago. I talked to Patty a while ago, Patty Caputo, and I said I'd like to run the home run derby this year at Major Nationals. I asked last year, didn't work out. Let's just say I'm asking again this year. I want to run the home run derby. We could call it the SSA home run derby. That doesn't bother me. What I want to do is I want to make it an event, and I want to make it an event where the fences are going to be a lot smaller, so we're not having 2 home runs per guy. No, we want it to be 230 all the way around at the very max. And the money ball, which is going to be, you'll have 2 money balls in a round. So depending on what you do in regards to your swings. And so what I'm saying is, just going off the top of my head here, like you're going to get 15 pitches or you're going to get 12 pitches. You get 12 swings, is that I would say. Your money balls, your 6th swing and your 12th swing, those will be a 12-inch. And we're going to, we have more 12-inch guys coming to play this game now than we ever had before. And let's face it, I mean, a 12-inch ball just goes farther. It's cooler.
It looks cooler.
100%, right? I know it's a 16-inch tournament, but Yuma does it. They do it with a 12-inch. It's just cooler, right? So we can see these big guys hit the 16-inch, and then on the money ball, we're going to really see them hit a 12-inch. And I want to see. I'm more excited to see some of the 16-inch guys hit a 12-inch than the 12-inch guys hit a 16-inch or a 12-inch guy hit a 12-inch, right? So to me, I just think it's really would be a cool environment. I want to get work with the Inwood complex to possibly do some type of sponsorship for liquor and so on with the bar that's out there. We can get Miller to be a part of it. I can get some vendors. My bar is 7 minutes down the road from the complex. I can get mom and dad water out there. Like there's a lot of cool things we can do for this event to make it an event. And I just personally think people will stay to watch it. I really do. And I think, we can give a bat to the winner with his own name on the bat, engraved on the bat. We have Cut Shot now to do that. Yep. Mike's all about it. So got a lot of cool ideas to make things, to your point, different, right, Frank, than what it's been in the past. And I think people will come out to watch that on a Friday night, to watch a guy, even if they have one round of games and then we just leave it up to Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
It's not like they're finishing on Saturday anyways with 7 fields only using 3. So, they're going to finish it on Sunday regardless, no matter what we tell them. I could tell them I'm going to give them $1 million. They'd still finish it on Sunday. So,
yeah, something new. Give it a fresh look, something new or something that hasn't been around in a while. Bring it back. It sounds like a great idea. Why didn't it work out last year? If it's something behind the scenes, you don't have to get into it. But I'm just
it just didn't work out. There was a couple individuals that didn't want me to be a part of it, we had a lot of bad blood. Say it what it was back then, and it just didn't work out. Angelo Felicio said cut ball contest.
Cut ball contest. That'd be cool.
That would be cool too. I don't know how exciting that would be, but that would definitely be a pretty cool idea, right? I'm just saying, I think the Home Run Derby, people like watching balls get destroyed. The 12-inch balls, I mean, could you imagine some of these guys that are playing with Rosmondo that are out there hit a 12-inch ball and someone can hit it 500 feet? Yeah. I don't know. To me, I think that's something cool to watch. You know what I mean?
It'd be cool. Like the cut ball contest, maybe do something like a place ball contest. Like you get certain points for hitting in a certain area.
Yeah.
Throwing ideas out there, Yeah,
100%. There's a million things you could do. I just think, you have like the furthest ball hit in the Home Run Derby. Somehow we can get some type of measurement on the ball, right? I mean, there's a million ways to do it. So that's
give the guy who represents their team a cash prize for the team, and you'll get the team staying out there. And
you'll get guys watching. Yeah. We had plenty of guys watching our guy pick, and it was a good crowd on that Home Run Derby because they wanted to see the 12-inch guys hit the ball. Like it was just they're just different human beings, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, the guy I pitched to, Kyle Pearson, hit 875 this weekend and won the offensive batting title. And then he just has that switch. He can go hit a 16-inch ball, 500, you know what I mean, or whatever. It was like 300 feet. He hit one of those, and it's like this is just a different human being, and that's why people were out there, right? They wanted to see those guys mash the ball because every Resmondo guy joined the Home Run Derby. I thought that was so cool that they did that, right? And it was like, all right, we never get to see these guys play. About time that we seen these guys hit some bombs. But good idea, Jim. I like that you want to represent the Home Run Derby.
It's not going to happen, but get one of those teams to drop the glove and come play a 16-inch tournament without it.
They're worth too much money.
I find one 12-inch team that's willing to do it. I like to.
Honestly, Rosmondo. I'm not kidding you. Rosmondo is not afraid to do it. I think if it works for their schedule, I know that it's going to be tough, and the answer is probably no. But I've talked with Helmer, and Helmer's mentioned multiple times. If it worked, they would try to come.
Some of them might like it more than what they're doing. You don't know until you try it, and they would just add more teams to the game, especially like top teams. I think it'd be pretty cool just to see how they would do, how they would adjust.
It'd be fun to watch those guys try to catch the ball.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are probably ex-minor leaguers or college players.
A lot of them
naturally good with good hands. But, still is a different game, so I'd like to see how they would do.
So Mike Trump just put a good question. The Chicago Cubs version of Nicky Lopez tournament going to happen again? I have not talked to Bobby yet. I know that he just signed with the Cubs. I could possibly see it happening again. I hope that I hope it does. But I know that there was something that they started last year, and they definitely wanted to keep doing it. So to my knowledge, I think it's something that I would say, they're probably going to continue to try to do it this year, which they did that last year on a Thursday, the night before Papa Hops. So it was a good time.
Well, I think that's it, my man. Frank, appreciate you very much for jumping on the show and joining us. A lot of great points that you made and talked about some really cool things and how we can maybe adjust this game that we love a lot. And we appreciate you very much, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we get you out of here?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys. It was fun. Yeah, one plug and one shout out. September 20th, First Responders Tournament at Hiawatha Park.
Love it.
Teams who were in it last year are going to get the first invites again. But if you're interested, let me know, or Iggy. He's my partner in it. Second shout out, Indian Road Best North Side Softball League non-major, Magic back-to-back champs. So gotta
Magic.
shout out the Northwest side. The Indian Road League, it's one field. I think it's pretty similar to what I hear like the St. Christine or the Kennedy Park League is. Like it's pretty competitive top to bottom. 10 teams. Every team's all neighborhood guys, all good dudes. There's a crowd there, so if you make an error, they're letting you know. Got to shout out my favorite league, my park league. So
nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, well,
thanks,
once again, we definitely appreciate you coming on tonight, and you keep us informed on what's going on for yourself. I know you always got great ideas. So if you ever need a platform to get on, and let us know. And, if you even want to live stream some games, hop right on our live stream and hop on our platform, and you can use it anytime you want. So
cool. Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye. Really quick, I want to say hi to Mr. Wags. He was logging on. Hopefully Wags are feeling better, my man. I'm glad to see you're still hanging in there. Love you, buddy. Angelo Feliciano has jumped back on again. Brad Hackford jumped back on. Joey Carbs, our boy Joey Carbs out there. So
where was Joey Carbs at tonight? I didn't see him out there for Hex. He was playing against his old team in Meatball City. I didn't even see him on the field. Maybe he got caught up at work.
Maybe he did. Yeah. So, but what a great show tonight with Frank. He had a lot of good things to say. Happy about him running the Dome. I think that's really cool to see him bring that back. I know you really like playing out there.
Man. I love seeing the guys.
I always
That's close to my house.
I always hated it out there, but it's a good time to get out there, get some swings, and run around a little bit. So,
really quick, two things. We've got Pat Moran actually just released the flyer for the 31st annual Terry Moran softball tournament.
July 12th?
That is going to be July 12th.
Yeah.
The food reps place and live music were such a hit last year. We're having them both again this year. We will also be recognizing all the winners of the Terry Moran Sportsmanship Award before the championship game, since they did not have the opportunity to do that last year with it getting rained out kind of in the middle end of that day yesterday. So Good shout out to Pat Moran, good human being, and I'm excited to play in his tournament again, and I will every year. Hopefully he lets me announce the championship game again if we're not playing in it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
he's the man.
I want to see you live streaming a lot of games this year on our page, Donnie.
I'm pumped about it. I really am looking forward to it. Like, the opportunities this year are going to be out there for us to stream some games, and especially the one-off tournaments that people can't go to and they want to see games. There's another tournament this weekend at Bolger Park in Melrose. It's the SSA Cinco de Mayo tournament this weekend.
Yes.
So a lot of A and B teams out there.
You have that bracket in front of you happen.
I do.
All right. Why don't you just really quick before we hop off the air, let's go through the bracket.
Yeah.
Not game by game, but let's just go through the bracket, one side and the other side, and let's pick a winner.
You looking at it?
I'm going to pull it up right now.
Okay.
I believe it's on the SSA page, right?
Correct. Cinco de Mayo update. A and B teams in the tournament, May 3rd, one-day tournament. We've got on one side a team that has been playing well is 40 Deuce. They'll run into Goodwood, who is probably going to be a powerhouse in that side of the bracket. Goodwood plays Wolfpack in their first year back. Diesel's not sure who Royalty is. I like to see new teams though, right? This is great. This is great that Frank Arenas is doing this. I think Goodwood maybe makes it out of the left side of the bracket, and they'll run into Bankroll. Could be good. I like to see Bankroll do something with the savvy veterans they got.
So I got an earful when I went and played golf with Matty Dozen, because we did not put Bankroll in the top 10 for the
We put Moneyline in there. That's his team.
No, top 10 A side.
Yeah.
Bankroll.
You're right.
And
they don't play in it.
It's hard to well, we had Menace in the top 10, so this is a good test for Bankroll, right?
Agreed.
If Bankroll beats Menace, we will put Bankroll in the top 10 the next time we do the top 10 A teams, okay?
I agree with you. Great call.
So what I'm going to go with here, and this, as I look this, I'm going to have Bullies beat Funks. 40 Deuce beats Guns Out. Goodwood wins. Diesels win. Okay. I got, this is single elimination, right? Or is it double? It's probably double if it's the SSA, right?
Single elimination.
It is single.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Tournament ends on Saturday night. Shocker. I am going to go with 10 deep to win the tournament.
Oh, okay.
That is my pick.
They got to run into my guy Stevo Rodriguez and Los Barachos Softball Club at 3:30 if they both win. That'll be a very good softball game. And I hope that those two teams play each other because they're both in the top 5 in terms of 8 teams. So for a second-round game and in a single elimination tournament, that's fireworks right there. That Frank Jekiel would call juice in the second round of that tournament. It'll be interesting to see who goes home early. Yeah,
is Uncle Jimmy's pick to win the Cinco de Mayo.
I'm going Goodwood, Jim.
You're going Goodwood, so you're going chalk.
Going chalk. Going chalk. Right. The reason I'm saying that, I know a lot of these teams played in the Dome a little bit. Goodwood on paper is probably the best team roster-wise. If they get all their guys out there, they'll be tough. They'll be tough to beat, especially coming out of the left side of that bracket, where on the other side you've got Bankroll Menace with 10 deep and Los Barachos, and then you got Beast Mode, young up-and-coming A-team as well. So interesting to see. I want Los Barachos to do well for my guy Stevo, but I've got Goodwood in this one.
So my sleeper team this weekend will be the Diesels.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Our boy Pat Moran's going to have the boys ready. All right. So 40 Deuce for me to win the whole thing.
40 Deuce?
Or not 40 Deuce.
10 deep. Another team with a number.
Yeah. 10 deep to win the whole thing. And Diesel to make a run on the other side.
Yeah.
Who do you have? Goodwood.
Goodwood.
Who's your sleeper team?
You know, with the amount of messages that I got, Bankroll better win a couple games.
You ain't lying.
Because Russ Delude blew me up the morning after our show and said, where the hell is Bankroll?
I heard earfuls from Maddie, so I know.
I would like to maybe see Goodwood and Bankroll in the championship.
All right. Good. So Bankroll is your sleeper team.
Yes.
All right. They told me they were going to beat Menace. So come on, Menace. Fire the boys up.
Let's get Menace going. Come on, boys. Come on, Cree. Maddie Scott, let's go.
Donnie, thank you.
Yes.
I know I've got some editing and some things to do. You and I got some more hot dog reviews to get out to. I know. Unfortunately, we've had some vacations, and me getting
ER
wasn't the greatest last 3-4 weeks for us. So,
right. We've got some games this week in Forest Park and Melrose again in the major level. I'll be out there tomorrow. We play Flash and Circus tomorrow. Doubleheader.
And we play March and Hex.
Revenge game for Jimmy.
Revenge game. There is no
Talk to me. You excited to play Hex?
Yeah. It's gonna be fun, of course. You're always excited to play your old team, right? So
are they gonna pitch?
Probably not. No. I don't make those decisions.
Probably not. All right. Well, good luck.
I don't make those decisions. So
I'd like to see you on the bump against Hex.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe I'll get the bump against March. Who knows? So we'll see.
Man.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you all for watching the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show, sponsored by the Beacon Tab, Signature Transportation Group, and Mom and Dad Water. Donnie, enjoy. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Right
People
there.
softball. Yeah, right there. People in the softball world, we definitely appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much.